Yeah, good time to shout out as well. If you want to see anyone's particular POV, most of the players here are streaming their own POV, so you can go check that out if you, for some reason, do not want the expert analysis of myself and Collins talking you through the day and you want to follow one player in particular, you can go check out their streams. But this is where we stand right now at the halfway point through day number one. Dummit and Silvername with the early leaders, but they just got usurped by XQN and Boodalicious, and we are now ready to go into lobby number 5 for the day. And wow, that is some picks.
Yeah,
all right, Collins,
these are some nice choices.
Nerfed Rag versus the other two top tier heroes. What are you going with here?
I would probably just still take Rag. Rag really has that way to just power spike. I don't think the nerf was enough to take it from the top spots. I still think it's going to be a really good pick, as long as you can avoid dying and you know that other people won't be having Yogg, won't be having this Dorm Root to punish you. So seems like a good pickup for me. I do think Yogg would be a decent second pick.
We once again do see dragons active in this lobby. I think Gio made a great point just before the break. It's the way the metagame has gone in this tournament so far. I think dragons banned is going to be the most interesting lobby from this point, because it does seem like a lot of the players so far have been very tunneled on the early Caligos strat.
There is a reason to be taking the Yogg instead of the Ragnaros here. He is looking at the minion types, and he sees there's no mechs for him. Right? So that really hurts Ragnaros. And also he's playing Yogg. He sees there's dragons. Yogg has a really good ability to get to 5 early. So he's thinking, oh, I'm just going to go Yogg, try to get an early triple into a Caligos and win the lobbies as I've done before. So that's probably the reason why he skipped up the Ragnaros here. Probably looked at the minion.
It looks like XQN is going to greed his Murloc Tidehunter here. Do you want to tell us why, Collins?
Maybe he's fighting his friend. I would say that would be probably make the most sense. The other reason is so that he could hero power and get a triple. If he's not fighting his friend, which he probably makes the most sense to me, but he could also just have trying to hold on to maybe some type of hero power shenanigans. But I think you don't need to do that.
It's a free roll, right? If you're playing your teammate here, you can just say to him, okay, don't play a minion, we'll tie. And then if he hit another Tidehunter in the shop, he had the opportunity to just go for, like, stay on tier 1 for an extra turn just to guarantee that triple.
Yeah,
right?
Silvername got a really good start for Yogg. Probably some of the best minions you can hit here. Especially if you're going to force some type of Murloc composition, which makes a lot of sense as well with the picks that are available.
Where do you want this buff to go? I like putting it on the other 3-4 as well, especially since you're looking to hit that triple. You can get one giant minion later on. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, it actually makes so much sense, because in the early game, minion breakpoints matter so much. Like, having a 2-3 versus having a 3-4 is significantly stronger, being able to chunk 2 minions and have a 2-for-1, where if you have a 2-2, you might get a 1-for-1 or maybe get killed freely by a 3-3. So changing from a 2-3 to a 3-3 or a 3-3 to a 4-4 is extremely powerful and extremely relevant.
And that was so smart again from XQN. Like, I'm sure he moused over Lich King and saw that there was no minion type being shown, so he assumed he had the Righteous Protector there, right? So again, that was a free roll for him, because actually playing his minion, the fight result would have been exactly the same, right? Like, the Reborn would have just come back and he would have taken the exact same amount of damage. So XQN has actually managed to greet this Tidehunter for 2 turns while having the exact amount of health he would have done otherwise. That's such smart play.
Actually ends up getting maybe even a better board than he could have had otherwise, being able to keep both of the minions that he wanted. Normally, if you get this play, you wouldn't have... Whoa, that's insane. Okay.
That's Silvername, yeah. He absolutely nutted the third Rockpool Hunter and discovered into Bronze Warden. Like, that is literally the best possible opening Silvername could have had.
I really thought the Shudderwock wasn't going to lose that round. He was really strong, so I was like, wait, what's going on? Actually gets destroyed here. Okay, so Silvername's in an extremely good spot right now to do a lot of directions. He could level if he doesn't like these minions, or he could roll in hero power. So he's really deciding. I don't like the minions that he has on the board right now, so I would either decide either to level and see or to roll. So he is going to go for the line. I think this is a good line, considering that you are so strong right now that you might not lose even if you leveled and waste 6 gold or unutilized 6 gold.
I would not have even thought about that. When I'm this strong, I'm hitting that level button every single time. So yeah, definitely agree with Silvername going to tier 3 here. He actually has now gone for the position where he stayed on 1 for an extra turn and has actually now jumped ahead of the lobby on the leveling curve by just getting so strong with that Bronze Warden Discover.
That's actually, well, he's still gonna win, but
Yep.
those hits from the dragons were probably best case scenario to remove a lot of that damage there. But Bronze Warden is showing how strong it is. Sometimes I view that as a tier 4 minion.
Yeah, agreed. I think it's absolutely one of the strongest tier 3 minions in a vacuum. Just, regarding or ignoring board states and synergies, I think it's just straight up one of the strongest minions. Okay. Wow, everyone hitting early triples this lobby.
Yeah, a lot of early triples here. He can decide to go for a 4. However, there are no pirates, so he can't hit Gold Grubber. He really wants to go for a 5. He's just thinking, how do I get this to work? He is playing Skycap.
Yeah, which means I believe this turn he could go straight to 4, right? Doesn't his gold work out perfectly here that if he hero powers, he could just go straight to 4 again and then potentially take the triple into a 5
4, but he does miss out on the extra gold on the following turns. He might just buy one of the dragons and then try to go for a 5 next turn or in 2 turns.
I can see that.
Okay. So we're gonna see how he's gonna fare against the opponents. We do know the Shudderwock had a lot of Murloc synergies as well, so that might be also able to deal with the opponent. It looks like he bought the hero powered the dragon.
Yeah, he did indeed. That 6-5 is going to do a ton of work here, and the Murloc snipe on the first attack is huge, but Dummit still just going to come out with a small win here.
I did not think the Sky Captain would win that round. I thought the 6-7 would be able to destroy, but unfortunately those hits were not in his favor.
Yeah, so now we're back at a tricky decision point again for Dummit. Again, the fact that he's playing Sky Captain gives him so many possibilities here that wouldn't be available to most heroes because of that ability to just spike in gold. Like, there's so many ways you could play this. He could even choose to just like Giga Greed a 6 here at some point, right? If he really wants
I think he's gonna use the hero power now to get the 5. I think that makes a lot of sense. Now he's looking for the brand. Unfortunately, Lookout and Bergergo doesn't really work as well, but he did find a Mama Bear, which he can use to have direction.
Yeah, decent direction at least for the mid game. That pan out right there, though, is one of the reasons why I've gone away a little bit from discovering 5s, just in my limited experience with the patch so far. Because the 5 pool, I think, was already very feast or famine. Like, obviously, Lil Rag used to be there, Nomi used to be there, Bran used to be there. But there's so many whiffs, and now they've added the poisonous minion to that pool as well. It feels pretty bad to discover 5s in a lot of positions.
Oh, he's not even playing the Mama.
Maybe I'm just too greedy.
That's actually fair. No need to waste that gold, I think. So he goes for a safe play. He's still kind of considering going Murlocs, actually. Unfortunately, he needed to hit a Brand this turn. If he hit a Brand, he'd be in a much better spot. But now that he has the Mama Bear, he really either has to focus on going a Beast Comp or try to struggle and hit a Brand organically.
Yeah, probably only has a couple of turns to really hit one or the other, or his board state is going to start falling off massively. But he takes a small hit here from the Daryl, and we will see what someone else is doing as Rogojin here takes a small hit from the Lich King as well. He's holding a lot of money in his hand currently, but his board state's still incredibly
I assumed
weak.
He had a triple lock because his hand looks like, oh, this is what I would do if I was holding onto a triple and just wanted to wait a turn, because his board looks very weak, but he can get a 6-drop here, deciding how he wants to do it. So he wants to keep the pair. There was an I would actually make the argument of selling that elemental, because if you do find the Caligos, then you can play the battle cry to get the buff immediately. But he went for keeping the pair, so he maybe find extra value. Amalgadon is a decent hit, but not amazing.
Yeah, a little bit, or quite a lot below the value of a Caligos. But I do like your point. Like, it kind of cuts both ways, right? Because now, having not hit the Caligos, he has another chance, right? Because he has another pair in his hand, so he's kind of hedging against the worst-case scenario as opposed to ensuring the best, which I kind of like, because if you hit the Caligos there, does the extra +1/+1 to everything really, like,
I'm just worried that he might take too much damage in 2 turns, that he might just die. He's not in a safe spot. The Amalgadon did hit Divine Shield, so that kind of gives you a little bit of safety, but he wasn't in a safe spot. You can see that the opponent did commit.
Yeah, I mean, not only did he commit, but so did Bob, apparently. Like, Bob just handed him everything he needs here. Hydra double Parrot, he's set up so nicely for some late game beast scaling now if you can find Goldrin and swap out of this high main later on.
Yeah, the play Rafam went is kind of a feast or famine comp where he needed to hit the Kelly Ghost and then he needed to scale here. This is what I was scared of. This is why I would try to get the extra +1/+1 buff, because you could just die here. It was looking rough. His board wasn't strong, so I was definitely worried about him.
That's fair. So joining Lich King POV here, he is on Tavern 5, so he could immediately hit something like Baron just to give him a little bit of mid-game strength with that
He's
golden
also
spawn
on 37 health.
Yes, he is.
Yeah, so he's got a lot of room to work with in terms of his health total.
The eternal debate we saw there. I know players disagree on this when you have that situation as to whether you hero power the parrot or the spawn. Like, which side of that do you come down on?
I have done both, honestly, and it kind of depends on if I have taunts or not. Right here, he has one taunt, so it's likely that the spawn won't get sniped, right? But if you don't have any taunts on the board, you'd rather just make sure that the spawn stays alive. So I don't have a strong opinion either which way. I do think there's probably a right choice, but I haven't thought about it enough.
Okay. With Nomi in play, that's probably looking like his primary method of scaling for right now. Like, are you a fan of Nomi as a win condition? I know a lot of people do think it's too slow in the current meta.
I was a little surprised that they didn't touch Nomi, but I guess the Rag nerf did do enough to make elementals a little bit less problematic. But I do think Nomi is one of the bigger scaling options for elementals right now. So if they can get it early like he does, and he's still relatively healthy, we will see after this battle if he is still.
That was the worst possible attack there. It was his attack and he sniped the far left Rat Pack, whereas any other attack he would have made will have disrupted this beast synergy at least a little bit. Yeah, he has just fed absolute max value to his opponent here. And you said he had 37 health. It looks like he is going to need it.
You can see that hero powering the spawn would have been better here. Just
yeah, that's true. You're not wrong.
He only takes 10 though, which isn't as much as it looked like it would have. So it's not too bad. We are seeing a Jandis player. This is maybe one of the few Jandises we've seen so far, with Pokers being removed. But he's not in an amazing spot, honestly, right now. He does have a bunch of pairs, so he's looking to triple into something useful.
Does find a Jug now as well, which is one of the best Jandis minions outside of Pogo, at least for the mid game.
I actually
but he doesn't
would
really
just buy the okay. I think I would actually just buy the Jug here. He's going for the +4/+4 on the cleave. I don't know if 4 attack is worth using Jandis hero power on, where you could have bought the Jug and used it to get 2 Jug hits on the next turn.
Yeah, completely agree. Yeah. I think I would have started cycling Jug there as well.
Yeah, this board, as Sean knows, is not gonna survive. It's definitely gonna fall off extremely fast. He needs to hit the Mama Bear, roll into 1 or triple into a Goldrin or something, because this board will not last. He's lucky he's fighting the Ghost, really.
Ooh. XQN going into this fight with a frozen Bran in his tavern, but he is substantially weaker than his opponent right now with only 11 health. And those are some high-tier minions.
He does have the Battle Master. That might be his saving grace here.
That is true.
Maybe.
Those attacks all going right is a big deal, no? Because now the Parrot gets 1 value trade on the Battle Master as well, and now that double damage is going to come through.
Oh, no.
And the Caligos is going to live, which means XQN is going to bite the dust. I would have loved to have seen the percentage of lethal there, because that did seem quite unlucky with all of the attacks going to the right taunt as opposed to the Parrot taunt.
Yeah.
Because if he'd have softened up that Parrot a little bit, that means only 1 attack would have gone into the Battle Master, and he would have had the health he needed.
It looks like he wasn't supposed to die there.
Right,
but just got a little bit unlucky with those hits to die.
So here we see Silvername in his natural habitat, jamming Kalecgos. This is what we've seen him do so far throughout this lobby, and it's been very successsul for him.
He's more of a menagerie comp this time. Unfortunately, he doesn't get to jam the Kalecgos in the way that he wants. But he's looking at the Murlocs here, I think, and seeing. Oh no, he is looking at the dragons. He is looking at the dragons. What a surprise! I didn't think he would be. Committing to the dragons. Oh, but he is looking at the Murloc too, so it's a little bit of both, and he might end with a hero power. Oh no, he's not going to.
Okay. No. These aren't Murlocs, Collins. These are just cards that say battle cry on them. Okay, that's all Silvername sees. He's a Kalecgos gamer.
I would be looking at the Murlocs here and seeing if I could make a clean Murloc composition, but looks like Silvername has a game plan. Stick with what has been working, and working has been dragons. So
indeed, and already he finds himself top 6 with 2 players dead in the lobby. 22 has double scaling going with both the Bran and the Kalecgos.
Yes.
A little bit weird to be looking at a far right giant taunted parrot. That's a little unusual board state to be dealing with here, especially when he does have a Bagurgle in play as well.
Yeah, it's just there to prevent cleaves, but yeah, it's not doing much else besides that in that positioning. Ooh, this Gerald is really strong. I think Gerald's been kind of tough to play in these lobbies in this patch so far because it's kind of hard to scale and people outscale you really fast. But he's got a pretty decent. Oh, he actually won. I'm surprised. I bet the percentages were not in his favor. He even looked shocked that he won too. So
yeah, I'm fairly sure Silvername just scammed 2 fights in a row without being able to see the percentages. It feels that way to me.
He's got a lot of things going in his favor today, so we'll see if that continues.
It looks like we are going to see the end of the Alakir here with the Fishu cleanly eliminating. Huge board still left over. Looks like he's got something cooking with a bunch of elemental value in his hand as well. Don't know whether he had a genie on his board to begin with.
It looks like he did, right? Because he has 2 elementals in his hand and he has a Baron on the board, so it looks like it had to be from a genie.
Nice work out there.
Looks like he's going Nomi scaling with Genie as the setup. He's looking for poison for the Amalgadon, which I really like to see. So we'll see if he can pick it up.
Tavern Tempest is a huge roll off that Genie, by the way, while you have Nomi scaling on the go, and he does hit the top spin as well.
Yeah. So it looks like he's in a pretty good... Oh, he finds another one. Okay.
Yo! This shop.
What is he selling here, though? That's the real question.
That is a good question. How long until we have to get out of spawn? It's fairly weak at this point.
I think he could sell that. I think that makes a lot of sense. Just sell the minion. It is big, but it's not necessary. Okay. Oh, he's not hero powering the Jhin. Oh, not greeting. Going for the survival play. I like this. He's not greeting. I might greed because I'm still at 21. But he's going for the I want to win for sure. All right, fair enough.
And to Show's credit, his strategy of buffing up that Hydra multiple times with the Jandis bounce has created a huge cleave here, which does get decent value, but only on the left-hand side, only hit the Divine Shield on the poisonous minion.
Yeah, that poison might do a lot of damage.
Still have the opportunity to value trade. Okay, if that had gone far right and hit the Baron or the pack leader first, that could have been huge for Fishu.
I gotta say, this Jandis is stronger than I thought the Jandis would be over time. He actually found a way to make it work.
Yeah, agreed. Surprising to me, that is a deceptively large Hydra that he's created by making that play that we were both kind of against, where he just bounced it back and forwards a few times, but put in a ton of work for him here.
It's not enough, though.
Just short. 1 health? No!
What a shame.
Wow. And the safe play, Collins. The hero power on the spawn, and then he wins by 1 health to eliminate the Jandis. Clutch decision-making for Fishy there at the end.
Yes, and once again, Show getting bottom forward for this. It's getting real tough for them now.
It is. Yeah, Fridgerus and Sho just both out in 6th and 5th position, and I think at this point, time might just be running out, because I think they're going to be even further stranded.
Especially
at the
with Dummit and Silver Name getting top 4 here in this round as well. They look like to be really doing a lot of work here. So we'll see how this turns out.
Well, crucially, one player from each of the other teams as well, right, is going to have a good result, because there's the Fishu and there's Budalicious, who are from purple and yellow, respectively. So every other team having another good round here, apart from the white team. It's like they might be in trouble.
Definitely, it's going to be a big gap. It looks like there are a lot of Beast players in this lobby, which is unusual, as they have not been seen in the lobbies before, but they're making a resurgence, the Beast side.
Yeah. Of course, Dummit we see off the back of that early Mama Bear Discover. We followed him through the early game. He had that tough decision on where to take his triple. Ended up taking it into a Mama Bear, but held off committing to Beasts for a couple of turns, but is now hard committed. And has some baby Hydras in comparison to the one that we saw from Sho, but overall I think his board state much stronger than the one that we were seeing from Sho.
This is it's so surprising to see the Daryl like actually having a board that can contest. If he can kill the Mama Bear before the 2020 spawns, he might have a chance. Oh, not anymore.
That's huge. Yeah.
Not anymore. Fortunately, he's not going to die here, so he still has time to make other big minions, but it's going to hurt.
Yeah, even if he dies to like Mama Bear and full board of rats here, he's going to survive, so no way he ends up dying. And this War Leader should pick apart a good amount of the damage. Might even just about... Okay, if he killed the Mama Bear, he might have had another small loss in him after this, but this is going to be too much damage.
Yeah,
he's going to be dead to the next fight.
Hit now.
Yep.
It does look like Silver Name got taken out last round, so it looks like the other two players have a shot of kicking out Dummit as well if they can perform well. We'll see how it goes.
Speaking of which, do you think the nerf of the Poisonous from 4 to 5 has increased the power level of Gar at all? Because I'm
it definitely has.
I'm surprised how many giant guards we've seen actually putting work in today. Like, I'm not used to seeing that at all.
The nerf is quite big because it limits how often you see it, right? Before, when it was at 4, you were seeing it almost every couple of rolls. So you would just take it like randomly, oh, I'll buy it now, and then I'll save it until the late game when I need it. Right now, when you're buying it, you're committing. You're like, oh, I actually want this poison. I can't sell it. This might be the only one I see ever. So it becomes much more of a commitment. So it's a lot harder to pick up.
I love all that decision making from Fishu, by the way. He has cashed out of his Nomi, which you do have to do at some point. You can't just have a 4/4 on your board forever. So he sold his Nomi. Do you actually keep it forever? Wait.
No, I do cash it out. I was making a joke.
Okay. But yeah, he's also sold his Spawn, which is something that I was wondering if he would have done a few turns earlier when we were last looking at him. So again, that's just another 4/4 on his board that he can't have forever, even though it does add a ton of stats to his board with the Reborn as well. So I really like the way he's approached this late game, and you can see just how enormous he is at this point.
Yeah, he's really, really big. Really gonna be tough. Wow.
Insane. His genies dropped Gar, Little Rat.
Yeah.
Crazy.
This is one of those genie games where the genie starts carrying you when you're Lich King. You just hero power the genie and it builds your comp for you. You don't have to do anything else.
So we are going to be down to the Fishu and Dummit in the top 2. Skycap and Crag making it all the way to top 2, which is
with
a very,
beast
very
comp
big deal.
As well.
With a beast comp, yeah, but I'm not seeing too many windows for beasts to be able to beat this board, Collins. I don't know about you.
Maybe if he finds 2 Amalgadons and triples his cleave. There might be. He also needs to triple his Mama Bear now that I'm looking at his actual board. He does have one loss in him, and with the loss, he could maybe transition into a Macaw comp. So it's not hopeless, I think.
Yeah, actually, looking at his board previously, I was like, yeah, there's no chance. But now I look at his hand and just how close he is overall to just getting that full transition.
The hand is the real nutter.
Yep. He's going to halfway transition now, which I think is smart. He knows he's playing against elementals, so the Myexnas are the most valuable thing he can probably get access to right now.
See if you can stay on top.
That was pretty good. He kept the he bought the token just in case he triples something and then he could get the value on. He's just running out of time to really make those plays. But I think he made the best transition he could with the time allotted. And don't know if it's gonna be enough, but the potential's there. Maybe next turn he can get a perfect rolls and find that transition. He really needs a golden.
That was huge. The value trade on the Myexna was insane. That saved him so much health this turn.
The problem is the respawn. Yeah.
Oh no!
An extra 11 damage.
It's 26?
27,
No, it's 27
exactly.
Oh no! So close for Dummit. Maybe with that one more turn, he could have found himself triple Baron, triple Parrot, triple Wolf, whatever it was that he needed to get himself over the line. But that is going to be a clean first place for the Fishu coming out in this one. So what a drastic departure from what we've seen. Dragons really running away with that lobby, Collins. Instead, it was elementals and beasts that we really saw dominating.
Yeah, kind of surprising. I think a lot of it had to do with what they hit on 5 and 6. You saw a lot of people hitting Mama Bears instead of Nomis and Little Rags and things like that. Caligos, right? You can see once they hit the directional piece, they hit the Mama Bear, they completely forgot any other comp, just stuck to the beast, stuck to the Nar Nomi compositions, right? And you can kind of see that, right? Once some good players, they hit a direction, they kind of give up on all the other things.
You can see what that means now, though. Bootylicious and XQN have extended their lead just a little bit.
Well,
moved out to 39, but Fritterus and Show are looking cast off at the bottom.
I don't think they've added Dummit's position and points yet, and I think once they add that he'll actually be ahead of Bootylicious and XQN. So those two are also doing well. You can see Roger Din and the Fisher are also a little bit behind. They just need one more placement to catch up, and you can see Show and Fritterus falling behind a little bit.
Absolutely right, Collins. That's why you're here. We need that keen eye to be spotting these mistakes and making sure the viewers are informed. But yeah, I think the big deal there was how cast off the white team are at the bottom. 9 points behind second place now. That's a big ask to make up with just 3 lobbies remaining.